All right, my better people, now with open eye and clear conscience, now to welcome una come on top the Potmanto today. Not let them confuse you. This one of that show where would they tell una say they get the mind to choke mouth for all the matters where other programs they not they fit choke mouth put. Today the show go boy because we get two very important people where they inside our studio. They don't come here say make them come follow us discuss how far things they go for their locality and how far things they go for the industry where them they operate in. Today we get somebody from the NollyWood sector, one big oga like that where don't take those ones where they call veteran for the industry. So they inside our studio today. Together we go to talk about NollyWood industry, our filmmaker people, how they run the matter, how the matter can be like as it be today, and whether the industry they make any kind of progress or not. That one day we go discuss with this our oga where they inside our studio today. This one that man where don dey that time where we dey see so many things inside NollyWood where ghosts go stand up, they beg people for money for transport to go where they go. That era where be say where they go they do flashback. They go they do flashback. Inside the flashback they go do another flashback. Inside flashback they go do another flashback. Inside one flashback we will get like 22 flashback. We no go even can remember the original flashback again. You know that era when the industry be say for the industry, you go see person go poison food. You go first test the food to know whether the poison catch the food well. Make I not talk too much. Now that era, now this oga don start to dey shoot film and to dey act inside movies. In our studio today, we go bring up come up when the time reach. My name now Usagiato, that fine proud Benin boy. One of una they call talk. Make I join them collect coffee as they collect us. So want to thank una one more time, say una dey with us even as we go that short break. Una still dey there, they tanda gidigba, they wait for us. We want to thank all those of una wey don subscribe, give us on top YouTube. We dey happy say una dey there, not be so una just subscribe, una dey there, they drop one or two comments, and those comments now they make our mind sweet on top the show. And we dey like all those of una when they go there go criticize our take on all the programs or all the interviews where we dey do. Thank una to say because as now they criticize us, and that's why that platform they sweet for us. So we not go stop to they bring una better things because now waiting we don't decide and now waiting we don't sign. Say what they do give una be that. Earlier on I tell una say we get one big oga inside our studio here. In from that industry where we always they see them inside television, we they hear their voices for radio. They don't inside the industry for 30. They bring us joy and happiness on top our television stations, and we they hear a voice too for radio. When I know this man, when I start to watch a movie, I still small. I did whether na primary 5 or primary 6, and now I first watch one of the movie where this oga do, and since that time now I don't like this oga. In a veteran Hollywood actor, television, movie and digital content producer. In career for NollyWood don't pass 30 years. As me and they talk so. He get formal training for acting, and he get informal training too for performing art. Well, that means say he still learn work under person where he don't first stand day for the industry. As a commercial model, he don't feature for several advertisements, including television advertisements for popular brand. In fact, now one of those advertisements where he do, now make me say I must carry this oga come on top the Potmanto. We can talk wetin lead to that advertisement where he do that year. He dey committed to in talent and to the method of acting as man as dog. So he don't act many stage movies, then transit from stage into acting in the for Scavengers. I think that one a stage movie when he do, and since that time he don't feature for so many television program. If you dey watch Super Story, you go know this oga where they talk. He dey always act as police officer. If this man catch you for movie and not see any DPO or any IPO where if he handle your case, he don't feature for so many story movie, SCID, The Men's Club, Teen Cell, Hush, Borokini, The Gold Status, It's a Day, Kambiri, Oru, The Donor, Retriever, Book of Lies, Jaguna's Heart, 7, The Eve, and so many other movies like that wey we no go fit mention because of time. Our guy here na graduate of food technology, and as we dey talk so, I be the chairman of the caretaker committee for Actors Guild of Nigeria. I get our own very big oga inside the studio today, my own big boss, my boss, handsome man, everly young, everly handsome, with that his smiling face, oga Femi Durojaiye. Make I do that one for you.
Okay, don't catch it.
I catch you, Ami. Oga Femi Durojaiye, you are welcome to the Potmanto today. In short, our mind sweet say you come. We call you, you humble, you come. In fact, this one I don learn one better thing from you today. Say no matter the level where I reach, I must humble myself. Thank you so much for coming, Oga Femi. Yeah, make we not take too much of your time. We get so many things to discuss with you today about NollyWood, about your own journey so far in the industry, about your experiences and the things where they happen for your industry now. Okay. But first and foremost, I want to ask you, transiting from food technologist to acting.
How you go?
I never talk.
I think was I an undergraduate or I finished my ND then? When I went into when I started getting trained on stage as an actor, as a young man then in the 80s, I used to go to the Museum Center and to watch to see our historical artifacts. I don't know where it came from actually, but I like those old ancient things, discoveries and all that. So I used to go to the Museum Center, and when I go, there is always a theater group. They are always rehearsing. I always see them and pass and just go inside and see all those historical things, the terracotta. The clay, the knock culture, a lot of ancient things about ancient civilizations in Nigeria. So the day I decided that, look, I want to be an actor, it was to then I went. And the name of the group, it was then Mother Africa Theatre Group. So that's where I got my first training as an actor. And that was way back in 1987. That's where my journey started as an actor.
Wow. I know, say, for this journey, you could all put up so many fights. You go fight many people because somebody no go carry send you go university finish, go learn food technology. You come and say, I want to go and be doing stage 1 action. Okay. Say most of those I don't want to mention parents. Yes. Most of our elderly people then they don't want to hear it. That you are leaving what you went to study, what we paid for you to go and study, to go and be doing something we don't know where you got that from. Okay. So I know say you put up so many fights. Okay. How much of a fight did you put in? And then who did you fight with?
You see, from the beginning, as a much younger person, my younger days as a little boy, pre-secondary school, you understand, I've always watched Oyin Adejobi, Koto Ashipa, you understand, those old programs, television programs. Yeah. I was hooked on them. They were my staple, you understand. My heart has always been in the arts as a small boy, you understand. Then when I grew up much older, that I could go to cinema on my own. I used to go to Jebaku Cinema, Rainbow Cinema. They were not far from Surulere where I lived. You understand? So I used to go and watch Indian films, Chinese films then. So as a little boy, I've fed my mind, with a lot of theater, with a lot of films, And if I ask where did it come from, the only thing I can say is that my mom used to sing a lot. You understand? But she didn't sing professionally because she was a nurse, But if I remember my mom, she's always singing. So maybe the thing about art came from her. Incidentally, before I graduated, I just knew that I was not going to practice. I knew that I was not cut out for the laboratory. I knew that I will not be in the production line of making coffee or making Milo or making Maggi or making Cerelac, you know. I knew that my temperament cannot stay in the production line or stay in the laboratory where I'm checking the biological, the microbial or chemical properties of any food, testing for spoilage and degradation, you know, that kind of thing. I didn't have that quiet temperament, you know. And my mom would turn in her grave if she knew that, because we used to have, I think, the director of marketing at Food Specialties, which is now Nestle. And they were waiting for me to submit my application letter, you know, as a graduate then to be employed there. I waited until the application closed because I didn't want to go and work at Food Specialties. I was committed to the arts, you know. As if I don't do this thing, or more, I can't be myself. You understand? It was that bad, you know. So my mom just knew that maybe this boy is different. You understand? And then I did not look for my mommy's trouble. My mommy is an educationalist. You understand? A disciplinarian. Read your book. I read my books. You understand? I didn't do like my brother that she had to be chasing everywhere because I know how she dealt with my brother. So I behaved myself. I read my book. So at the Yoruba we say I count my book. Where? So I was her favorite boy. Yeah. You know. So when I turned to the art, she didn't mind because she just wanted to be a graduate. Go school. I went to her school though. I go to school, I did everything, you know, and I did well in school.
So they had no option.
They have no option. That's what you want to do. Just do it, you know.
I love a TV commercial you did. I started with it. Now, that commercial, honestly speaking, anytime they are playing it on screen, I always want to watch it. You understand? Because of the way you put up the act. You understand? That was like, this man, she referee really. Has he been a referee before? You understand that instead of you giving somebody a red card, you gave the person a tom-tom. You know, that commercial went viral. After that commercial, what became of you? What became of your career? What became of your lifestyle?
Okay, I will first say something. I hope I will not lose track of your question. No dream is small. No dream is small. No dream is useless. You know, we that we are older, we need to understand young people. I was already an actor, you understand. And when I look at the television and I see models, and I say, look, I want to model a product, you know. And the first break I had was Jested. I modeled Jested, you know. I wanted to see myself on television. And when I did that Jested advert, I was satisfied as a model. I have achieved my ambition as a model. Now, coming to the Tom Tom advert, I almost did not do it. Because you see, Cadbury, the audition, the screening was for me was too much. You understand? And not be commercial. We went about 3 or 4 times. So Cadbury then, we will face panel. They will say they want to see my leg. In short, at the point I got so frustrated that these people, they said, please, can you roll up your trousers? We want to see your legs. What I did was, buru, 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 buru. They said, what's that? I said, it's the sound of rolling up my trousers. You know, I think they were looking, in fairness to them, I think they were looking at the totality of I never knew they were casting me for the referee. You understand? They had to look at the totality of the referee, the build. You know, the referee is not wearing trousers. You know, whether, you know, the image, the beauty, the aesthetics, and all that, the optics, that's what they were checking. I didn't know that. You know, I got to know that after. When we shot it, the commercial, it wasn't so difficult because the director, he knew exactly what he wanted to shoot. It's good to work with people who know their onions. So you make the work of an actor so easy. You know, we shot it, and the commercial won a lot of international awards.
Yes.
You know, it was an incredible commercial, and then it got repeated so many times. You know, it got renewed so many times. I won't tell you the back details what the agents did with the renewal. A lot of funny things that happen in this our industry. You know, some people take advantage of your ignorance and all that.
Yeah.
But all said, Cadbury did well. They paid good money, and they renewed the contract. You know, and all that. So it was a very good. People remember. People see. When some people see me, they will say Tom. I'm always amazed that they still remember that
honestly, and
it was a major hit.
That commercial will live in the memories of so many people for a very long time.
And then you asked what became of my career.
Yeah, afterwards. Career and lifestyle.
It was a major. Will I say major? It's a building block to what I've become in totality as an actor or a creative person. People always ask me, what was it that made me a celebrity? To me, I do not really have one particular production film. You know, I think it's an aggregate of everything that I've done as a creative person. Some actors, they will do one production and boom, they don't blow. So mine was, you know, maybe that's why I continue to be relevant in NollyWood. You know, I've done so many productions. Name the TV series. Everyday People, I did there. I've done so many productions.
Yes, and you know, that is the beauty of a career person. You know, when you are having a career and your career is growing in leaps, in bounds, lines by lines, precept by precept. You understand? That is what makes the totality of the beauty of a career. You understand? Not that you just do one, whim, and you just blow, whim. The next 20, 10, 15 years, nobody is hearing about you anymore. But there are some people there who are really rooted in their career. You might not be hearing them everywhere, you know, but they are really doing well. Their career is progressing, is advancing, and is really, really, really doing well. You understand? So we're going to be taking a very short break. You understand? But when we come back, we will now delve into your career as an actor, both screen and stage acting.
Nígbà èwe mi, àwọn àgbà máa ń pòwe kan tó máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu. Wọ́n á ní ohun tágbà rí níbi tó jókòó sí. Ọmọdé ò lè rí tó bá gun rí igi. Ìgbéraga àwọn àgbà yìí máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu. Ìyípadà tí ń wà ń gbà wọn. Ó lè má jẹ́ bí ti kíákíá báyìí o nígbà yìí o. Àmọ́ ìyípadà tí ń wà díẹ̀díẹ̀.
Oga Femi Durojaiye, we want to discuss about your career. You started as a stage actor, now metamorphosed into screen. Do you still do stage?
Of course, I still do stage.
So what is stage like in Nigeria now? Because we don't hear of stage plays anymore. I remember, like you said, those days when I was also young, I love art from the beginning. You understand? I knew I was going to be in the art industry. You understand? I used to go to National Art Theatre on my own. You understand? Then there was this stage play, Obaseki, then that they were taking from place to place. When they brought it to Lagos, it was staged at law school in Victoria Island.
Yes.
We had RMD on that cast. We had Norbert Young and so many other veterans on the cast of Obaseki. But these days, you don't hear of stage plays anymore. They are no more there. Everybody is now into screen. You understand? We thank God for the revamping of cinema, you know, that has come up again and showing indigenous movies. You understand? But I'm particular about stage. What is happening to our stage acting sector of the movie industry?
Okay, stage is not as popular in terms of the kind of popularity films get, but I assure you stage plays are taking place in Nigeria. The scale might, of course, it cannot be compared to filmmaking. You understand? Because of the nature of organizing stage productions, But stage plays are still taking place. They might not be the big ones, but musicals are taking place. At least if I don't even go for the auditions for musicals and all that, but I do see audition notices for stage plays. Mm-hmm. They are still there. They are still, but they are not as much as film. So, and the popularity of stage in terms of advertising is not comparable to films. That's the difference. But stage plays are
that's
place.
What I was just going to ask you. That means they are not publicizing it. The awareness is not there.
One, because you see, for stage, the hall has a capacity.
Okay.
And then there are agencies that they use to sell tickets. If, for example, you're having a stage play for 3 days, right, in Lagos, maybe at Terra Culture, and then you contract out the ticket sales to an organization. You understand? If they sell all the tickets, that's all. Mm-hmm. There's no more adverts. You understand?
Okay,
so the advert is always limited to the capacity of what they want. Unlike film that you put on YouTube, for example, where you want the whole world to come and watch, that kind of thing. It's like that.
That's fine. We've witnessed several transformation, you understand, in the movie industry.
Yeah.
It has transformed from one level to another level. Those days they will say Mama Bomboy Part 1, Mama Bomboy Part 2, even up to Part 6. Okay. You understand? At some point that's ended. We start seeing one movie, 40 minutes straight up, one movie, 1 hour straight up. You understand? And we've seen so many transformations, like I said earlier on. And now we are seeing the cinemas and the social medias. You understand? Omoni Oboli released a film recently, and within 24 hours, they had over, 12 million views. You just do a film now.
Yes.
You don't need to spend money on publicity anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You just put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
People go there to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there are some people that have short movies,
mm-hmm.
they are advertising it 24/7,
yeah.
and they've not been able to sell up to 1 million copies. And they have put in so much in. Whereas somebody just did a movie and put it on YouTube there.
Okay.
Within 24 hours, they've maybe, let's count it by copy now, they've had about 12 million copies out there. You understand? Is it impacting on the industry, and how? Now,
becoming of social media has democratized the playing field. Yes, the creative space. Before, you must be in the good books of probably a producer or a director before maybe you an actor can get some good jobs and all that. But now, if you're an actor, producer, you don't need anybody. Just get your equipment, shoot your film, and put on YouTube and other social media, and pay some people to talk about, to hype the film, so that people can go there and you earn your money. But that is even for social media. For example, you still need to do some level of advertising to draw eyeballs to your content. You just don't drop your content on social media and expect the algorithm of YouTube, for example, or the other algorithm of all the social media to do the work for you. Okay. You have to share your links. You see it every day. People share their links. It's part of the publicity for social media. Okay. But when you talk about cinemas, for example, that you have to do major advert for, they charge per ticket. You understand? And if you do your marketing well, and people that are selling the tickets, the agency that is selling the tickets, know what they are doing, you make a lot of money, like Funke Akindele did twice now. So that's
breaking records.
Exactly. But I can tell you for free that there are some people on YouTube, they are making more money than Funke Akindele. Some of them are earning over $100,000 every month.
That's my question. Now you get the basis of my question.
You see, the thing is that they have been there
without stress, without pressure, without getting to run after one person or the other.
That would be a misunderstanding of the whole thing. Okay. I think that these people that are making so much money on YouTube, they have been there for a long time. You understand? They have been consistent, they have been posting content, and they have drawn a lot of people to their channel, so that once they drop a film on their YouTube channel, which before you know it, they have garnered over 2-3 million viewers, and they are making money. But the fact is that they have done the work over the years, putting content consistently on their YouTube, and the algorithm of YouTube have gotten used to them uploading content regularly, and it's helping them to distribute it also. That's just it.
I was looking at it. So what's the need of now doing film and be putting in the cinema when people can just under 24 hours you're having over 20 million views?
Yeah, so something happened to Omoni Oboli concerning that film. I think there was a controversy, you understand, surrounding the film. Maybe it was first removed from YouTube, and so people are curious. That, what the hell is going on here? You understand? So the people went there. That's why they say there is no bad publicity
at all.
You understand? There's no bad publicity.
So, sir, your industry,
yes,
is synonymous to scandals. I want to ask you, because since I've known you, I've never seen you or your name mentioned in any scandal. You understand? The only time I saw you make noise was during the 2023 election.
Okay.
When it was recorded that they were threatening your life. A particular political party members were threatening your life, and you have to take it up with them. I think that was the only time I heard you make noise. What happened?
Experience has taught me that I believed wrongly. That thespians, actors, are the light bearers of the society, and therefore they should show the way in every society and help to build society, move society in the right direction. It stems, my belief stems from the understanding of what film is. Every film is didactic. That means every film has a message. You understand? Either when you say to a creative, you call it theme. To the public, we say a message. You understand? Either you are trying to prove, or either you are trying to show with your film that stealing is not good, or taking somebody else's wife is not good, or being a traitor to your country is not good. There is so many reasons why we make films. Is to pass on a message. You understand? And all our messages are positive message. So I have come to believe that in anywhere a creator is, a creative person is, you are a leader in your society. You understand? You are supposed to show the way. You understand? You are the light bearer. We have seen people who have come before us, people like Wole Soyinka, who have fought for democracy at the risk of their own lives. He has gone to prison. These are our role models. You understand? And I don't think I was wrong to demand that as a creative, you must set example, good example. For the youth that are following you, that have adopted you as their role models. Don't lead them wrong. Don't endorse crooked politicians. I felt very, very agitated about it. And I campaigned against those I considered misfits in our national life. I was not just threatened. I was physically armed. I would have died at the last election if not for some mobile policemen that rescued me from the hands of, I won't mention the political party, but everybody knows them, that rescued me from the hands of their thugs, pushed me into their vehicle, and sped off. Wow. You understand? So I escaped, but I was wounded, But it's life. If you are going to stand for the betterment of a society, there's a price to pay. As a man and as a father, the first people I lead are my children. You understand? I'm their first role model. Basic. You understand? That's why I cannot do anything that some of my colleagues do, because my children are going to ask me, Daddy, what happened? You didn't bring us to believe in things like this. What will I tell them? That's why it's always difficult for me as a person to misbehave. I cannot do it. Apart from the fact that my faith does not allow it, my home training does not allow it, being an African does not allow misbehavior. It's not just, I'm not cut out as a person to do things that are wrong.
And that brings us to the next phase of this conversation.
Yes.
Your colleagues now, entertainers now, and politics. Are you getting me? Entertainers and politics. You discover that most entertainers now do the bidding of highest payer.
Yeah.
Whether the politician is credible or not, if he can drop some chikala, as they used to call it, well, we continue to sing your praises, or we continue to hail you anywhere we go. You understand? Just recently, a musician was saying, on social media that the kind of money they offered him during the last election to defame another politician, the top runner in the presidential election, that the money they offered him to defame that man, that he has never seen that kind of money in his entire life. You understand? He was saying this, and he said he rejected that money actually, but there are some who did not reject it, and like you rightly said, your platform is for breeding good society, for bringing government to accountability, and for enhancing good, propelling good governance. That is it. So now, what does that make of your industry? You understand? How do people now see your industry because of all these, kind of things that is happening among colleagues?
Okay, in NollyWood, everybody is welcomed. Both the well-trained, both the ill-trained, those who have home training, those who do not have home training, part-time criminals, all kinds of people are in NollyWood. You understand?
He said part-time criminals. I'm just...
until they are caught, all kinds of people. NollyWood welcomes everybody, because there is no framework. We are waiting for the National Assembly to pass a law in which to regulate the industry. There is the level of regulation now is we are mostly self-regulated. You understand? And not everybody will abide with whatever you say, what anybody says. Look, it is not peculiar really, the misbehavior of people. It's not peculiar really to NollyWood, It's just that in Nigeria, depending on your level of hunger and the kind of upbringing you have, if you are offered, they say everybody has a price.
A price.
You understand? It is true.
As I grew older, I understood the proverb. You see, they should have said it differently. As you become an adult, you have to make choices. You see, the wealth that I've amassed over the years, they were a product of the choices I made.
You are a producer, and you are an actor. You understand, how has the journey been for you, first as a producer and then as an actor?
Okay. First, of course, I started off as an actor, and my acting, my stage production, I enjoyed stage. I still enjoy stage.
It shows because the way you have been demonstrating in your submissions here.
And that's, at that stage, it affected, you will have to tone down, on stage, on film, your gestures, you understand? One of the things that Olu Jacobs taught me on the set, I think it was Super Story then, right? He said, on stage, you can do this, but on TV, you can only do this, You understand? What he's saying is that your gestures must be controlled for the medium in which you are doing your performance, because for television you have to see your face. For stage you can do anything. You can, exactly, because it's live. As I said, my transition from stage, which I enjoy so much, I still do stage, to acting. I started with Scavengers. Right. Scavengers was my first film. It was directed by Andy Amenichi. I'll never forget.
That's a wonderful director.
Yes. It was my first cut. Coming from an experienced background as a stage actor, and then it was an extra role, what people refer to as waka pass. So naturally, it's an because nobody knew me. It was my interest. In short, the person that even told me that, Femi, come they are looking for extras for a particular movie. It was in the early days of NollyWood.
Yeah.
You know, I said, okay, I'll go. My late cousin Yinka Ilesomi Obi, she has passed now. May her soul rest in peace. You know, she was the one that called me and said, Femi, I'll go now. So I said I went. So, you know, in all these extra rules, they will tell you, when you get here, you clap. When you get, because you don't know the story.
Yeah.
So the director tells you, when you get here, you clap. You know, when you get there, you clap and all that. Or you stand up, you make noise, you know. But coming to the movie sets as an experienced actor, I listened and I watched how the story was unfolding in court. I knew that Zach Oji was my family member that is at trial, you understand? And when the case ended, he won, you understand? When he won, without being directed, I left, the camera was rolling. I left my seat. If you have ever been to the court,
yeah,
you know,
the
they have seats at the back, you know.
Yes.
I left my seat. I went to meet Zakoji, shook his hand, embraced him, and I was, you know, just
as a waka pass.
Yes, I was admitting with him. Congratulations, you know. I must have taken Zakoji by surprise. For being an experienced actor himself, he just flowed along with me, you know, until the director now said court. Because it's a natural consequence that if your person win case for court and they don't say court. Judge, you go and rejoice with the person.
Yeah.
The director called me and said, "Hi, what's your name?" I said, "Femi Durojaiye." He said, "That was very good." You know, you see, a director expects that an actor will bring to the table more than what he's supposed to do. Brilliant. That is what differentiates one actor from an actor and a good actor. You understand? You provide more than what the script requires. You know, to the delight of the director. Because the director wants a good film, he wants a believable film. So if you can give him that, he or she is very happy. You understand? So that marked my transition from stage to film, to movies. And you know, in those days then, you don't know when the producer will bring out his film. You know, it is when you start seeing posters being pasted in your neighborhood. That's when you know that one film has come out, you know. One day I was walking around in Surulere and somebody said, "You are in Scavengers. You are in Scavengers," you know. And I laughed. And I was surprised that playing an extra role, I already had face recognition. You understand? So an actor, it is not the role that whether it's big or small. It is what an actor brings to that role. You understand? So I tell young actors, don't say this role is small. Don't desire to play the lead role. The one you are given, what have you brought to it to make a difference? It's very important. You know, that's what makes you an actor, not just regurgitating lines that you have crammed, you know.
And so, that is the common thing now. You see some actors, they just come, there is no life in the part they are playing, they are just talking. You know, I was watching one movie recently.
Yes.
It's all this African magic.
Yeah.
You know, I just sat down and my family were watching and I just started watching. You see, the lady was just talking. You understand? She was just talking. The gestures were not even there. You understand? And these things she was talking, she's supposed to add some gestures and let even there are some roles you talk, you add gestures and people understand what you are saying. You understand? That brings us to the next part of this call, which is the young and upcoming, you know, actors.
Yes.
You understand? It's like they are impatient. Unlike your own time, it took you years to get to wherever you are now, but they don't want to even spend hours. They just, like you earlier said, they want to get their first role and become a lead actor straight like that. You understand? So what advice or what do you have to tell them, or what do you think they should know in, you know, progression in this industry? You understand that they are missing.
Okay, something happened recently. I heard that there is a particular actor that a female YouTuber with a big channel had been promoting in her film, you know, and the guy has become very popular. So if you have become a popular actor, other producers will want to use you.
Work with you.
So when this person got on the set and they call action, they said that this guy cannot really act. What, you see, it's the same problem. You understand? You need to go through the works. You need to do films that you are continually tested, different roles, not just because you are in the medium of YouTube where anything goes. They will watch the film anyway because the actress is there. You as an actor, you must have a gestation period. Train yourself, give yourself to the character. Just don't appear in front of the camera and just mouth some things, and because you are shown regularly, you become a known face. For me, I will give you when we did Kambiri or Kambili, it's depending on which side of Igbo you come from. It was Iroko. It was an Iroko production. When I got on set that day, and the director said, okay, you are going to use this as an old man walking stick and all that, for the character I was going to play. I played one of the lead characters. In my mind, I've been conjuring who this character is. You understand? I've been trying to step into that character, become that character, speak like that character, walk like that character. You understand? That is the work of an actor. That's your work. You understand? So when they gave me that walking stick, I began to feign a man that is partially lame. You understand? And I began to practice it, round the set. I moved around with it. And I think it was a costumier that called me, Mr. Femi, what happened to your leg?
Oh.
I said, no, I'm just rehearsing the character. I said, I didn't know. So you have to, film is make believe.
Yes.
An actor must must step into the character. You must learn how to be a method actor. What does the character need? Who is this? You must understand the character and be that character. I remember when we did Isaleko, when I played the prince and then the king of Lagos. At Durojaiye, Benson, the director, told me that, Femi Durojaiye, go and find that character. I knew what he was talking about. He said that you go and become Idewu. You understand? He said that I should go and become Idewu. So when I got home, I did everything I could to become Idewu. In front of the mirror, I will read my lines. I will walk. When I got on set or to the rehearsal the following day, the way I took the lines were different. You understand? He turned to me and smiled. You are found
Idewu. And that's because you're a professional.
You see, who is a professional? A professional is somebody that continuously develops his craft. You understand? You must pay attention to your craft.
But that's missing now. It
is missing because the young people don't want to learn the ropes. They just want to sit there in front of the camera and do it. You will just be an ordinary actor. Look, when I play, you talked about Super Story. When I play the DPO, do you know why I was unforgettable? Because I became a DPO. There are some policemen till today who say that I must have been in the force. I must have been in the force.
Yeah, because the way you played that DPO role, I remember the Super Story very well.
In short, I became Wale Adenuga's favorite character. Anywhere Wale Adenuga sees me then, if you just back and say, Femi, my DPO. How did I get that DPO role? I came in. You see, actors must love wakapas. You must love the extra role. You must love the opportunity to act. Don't look for big characters. Just look for opportunities to act. I was given a few lines. I think it was one of the Wale Adenuga productions. I played a sergeant. You understand?
Yeah.
And I gave the sergeant, and I played a real sergeant. And Antalaniyo looked at me and looked at Beki Adeoye and say, this guy, you are going to give him a bigger role. No. You understand? From that was the last time I played a sergeant. I did not know whether they have been looking for, because I played against my boss. I had an inspector as a boss on that set. But that was the last time I played a sergeant. Subsequent roles, I have played DPO, senior police officer. Let me make a confession. I need to make a confession here.
Yeah.
You see, while I was in school at Yabatech, at Federal Polytechnic Bauchi, I belonged to an organization called National Cadet Corps.
Oh,
it's a paramilitary organization. I was trained at Bonny Camp. I was also trained at the barracks in Bauchi. You understand?
Okay, I think I don't hear that now.
As a soldier, as a paramilitary, person. I was a second lieutenant and platoon commander.
Wow.
You understand? So the gestures of a military man
was always there. In you.
So when I have to play a DPO, when I have to play, when you play a sergeant, or a lower rank, or we call them other ranks, maybe a corporal, or a lance corporal. There's a character. There's a way in which they behave.
Yeah.
You have to behave that way. When I became a DPO, DPOs are a court above the other ranks. There's a way they talk.
You carry yourself.
There's a way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
So I brought all that to the character, and it was like boom. That is a senior police officer. Wow. I recall a soldier, a female soldier, saw me in Ojo area, and she accosted me and said, "You, sir, I know you're a member of the force. Don't tell me you're a member of the armed forces." I said, "No, I'm not.
I'm just an actor."
So it showed to me over the years that I must have played that police role very well. So those are what I call the memorable roles. That's what an actor must strive for. Let people remember that you played this character.
And most of those things are missing in the field now, because most of these roles they play, which one can you remember? You see, even at this age, we still refer to most of those roles that people like you play, people like Olu Jacobs, RMD, you understand? But nowadays, you hardly remember any particular role. I remember that time, may so rest in peace, Fade Yoloro.
Yeah.
You understand? During their movies, you see Fade Yoloro on the road, and you almost stone him physically, because the way he delivers his role. You understand what I'm saying? So, sir, quickly, because our time is fast spent, we want to. It has been alleged that funding in NollyWood.
Yes.
You understand that, in short, the people have been saying it, you understand, but we still call it an allegation, an alleged, matter that NollyWood is a medium of money laundering.
Okay.
Say they use NollyWood as a means of money laundering. That most of the money they spend in producing their movies here and there, that most of them are not clean money. They just put it into movies so that they can use it to make the money neat. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you are a veteran, and you are also a stakeholder in the Actors Guild of Nigeria. Yes. You understand? What is the position of this allegation? Okay,
I will tell you very quickly, and I will tell you for free. The EFCC should stop harassing us as actors or as producers. Let them go and do their job. If I want to do a film today, maybe I need 100 million to do a cinema film, and I'm scouting for investors. You understand? I can't go to the bank and borrow the money. Do you understand? If a private investor says, "Look, I'll give you the 100 million," am I going to go to CID, Manti, and say, "Manti, please, I want you to investigate this guy, whether he has clean money or unclean money"? I'm not going to do that. That's the work of the government. That's the work of the law enforcement agents. There are laws in this country. There's an amount you can put in your bank, whether foreign exchange or naira, that the EFCC is automatically told that this person is having this money. It's their work. Let them look for the money launderers. It's not the business of NollyWood to start looking for who has clean money or who does not have clean money. That is not our work. Our work is to create content for the betterment of the society. You understand? To teach the society, to lead the society in the right direction. It is their work to look for the money launderers. They should stop the harassment. They should stop the harassment. Thank you.
Most of your colleagues are now into skits. They are doing skits now.
Good for
you
them.
Understand? Good for them, Abi. Are you considering that part too?
Oh, yes, I am. And you see, I have a group, I don't want to forget that, called Project 100 Beyond Acting. Okay. We have done 6 films so far. Why did I create Project 100 Beyond Acting and registered with the Nigerian
Corporate Commission.
No, Copyright Council.
Copyright, okay.
You know, I know that a lot of actors, they don't have a chance in Nollywood. They can be running from one audition to the other for 3 years, and their careers have not taken off. Because I did the same thing. I went through the audition route, you know, and it took me a long time to find my feet in the industry. Now I created this Project 100 Beyond Acting for me to, one, represent actors, two, train them hands-on on the craft, give them the opportunity to learn on the job. Because when you come as an actor, Nollywood does not train anybody. If you call an audition, they take the best. So those who are not up to par, what happens to them? So they are left in the wilderness. You know, that's why a lot of things happen. Some people give themselves up to do things they are not supposed to do, just to have the opportunity. But I say, come to me, you understand? But you have to pay me for my service. I give you the roles. I pay you for the role that you pay, according to the pay that you collect in Nollywood. So I made it easier for anybody coming into Nollywood to have a soft landing. You know, some of my colleagues criticized me a lot at that time. No, you shouldn't have been doing that. At the end, when they began to see the success of Project 100, and those people now playing lead characters with superstars, some of them are now coming behind to ask me for roles. That is the way of the world. They want you to break through the forest, get it done, and they say, okay, he was right. Let's join him. You know? So that's what is happening now. Now, so your question was about
skits. Are you
yes,
looking in that direction?
I'm looking into direction of skit. You know. As I said before, social media has democratized the creative space. I'm going to start doing a lot of skits. Yes, and short movies. You know, so that I can give those who are in Project 100 greater opportunities to continue to learn on the job until they become superstars themselves. Okay,
thank you. Just quick one. Stage, movie, ratings for you. Which one will you rate higher than the other?
They are different. But I'm a stage person. Stage is my first love.
So stage is always stage. Okay, can you just do something for us?
How do I mean?
One line.
Mommy, you know, as a prince of Lagos, when it comes to time, we have to consult the oracle to find out what the future holds. But mommy, I went to meet the Ifa priest and I asked him the same question. Ifa told me that I must not share my wealth with the people of Lagos. How could that be, mommy? I'm a prince. The people are my subjects. So I left the Ifa priest and I forgot about his warning. You remember Tanimola, my childhood friend? One day he approached me and said he wanted to buy a piece of land that I should assist him. So I helped him to buy the land. And then I remembered the warning of the Ifa priests that I mustn't help the people of Lagos and the consequences thereof. Mommy, the die is cast. I cannot live to an old age. But so be it. Let the gods do whatever they like. I will help the people of Lagos. I will. I will. I will. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so very much.
It's my pleasure.
Uncle Femi Durojaiye. Oh my God. I think we should just keep doing this, keep talking and talking. I have so many questions, lined up, but we couldn't take too much because I wanted us to look at the indigenous movie story vis-a-vis the imported movie stories and all those stuff.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe at another time.
We'll come again, definitely. We would like to have you. Do you have any projects you are running now?
Yes,
that I would like people to know about.
Yes, on my YouTube channel, Femi Durojaiye TV, I am uploading a serial called To Love Again. Please go to Femi Durojaiye and watch. We are already in episode 4. God bless you. as you watch.
Thank you so much. Make una go at Femi Durojaiye TV on top YouTube. Make una go dey watch all the better beautiful film where in the release for that in channel. Uncle Femi Durojaiye, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you. We hope to have you again very soon because this time no reach us at all. All right. Now so go take one generator on top of the show today. Not forget say you be Naija anywhere where you dey make you dey rep this country well. Not for them put hand for wetin go spoil this country name. Not do drugs because you no get any better thing where they do for body. On to the next one now. I say make una hold una chest tight.